Good morning, everyone. We are going deep into the month of Adar. This week, as we know, this Shabbat, we're going to be blessing the second month of Adar, but that's the month of Adar that Purim is in there. So definitely it has to be a very happy Shabbos for all of us. A lot of great simcha, and to share the simcha for the entire month to come with God's help. Let's share a couple of words regarding this coming Parsha. This Parsha we're learning about the way they assembled the tabernacle, after we learned about building it, after we learned all the details, the measurements, and everything that comes with it. We are learning how they assembled it and they put it at its place, every part. One of the things and the important things that we're learning is about assembling the Holy Ark. As we learned in the sixth Parsha, that Holy Ark was assembled, and inside the Holy Ark was put in the tablets, the holy tablets, the tablets that was written on it, engraved the 10 Commandments. And this is made it to be that the Holy Ark was in the holiest of the holiest, and it was in the holiest part, and that was the holiest object inside the Mishkan, inside that temple. I'm going to talk about that, about this Holy Ark, and we're going to say a story about it. And this story is about one of the great Talmidim of the Baal Shem Tov. He lived in the city of Messege, where the Baal Shem Tov lived later. And he decided he wants to go move to Israel, to the Holy Land, as many want to do, especially many righteous people want to do, to believe in the holiness of the Holy Land. He asked many times about Shem Tov, and Baal Shem Tov was not really happy about that. He wanted him to stay there for whatever the reason is. But once he couldn't wait anymore and decided he's going to move anyway, so he packed his bags and he's going to Israel. The way they would do it, the tradition in those days, they would leave from their home on a Friday, like the beginning of traveling should be close to Shabbos. And this Friday afternoon, he started moving out of his town and going towards Israel. As he is traveling out of his town on Friday, who comes right across him? The Baal Shem Tov himself is going towards the city of Messege. And he tells him, Reb Ze'ev, that was his name of this great man, later to be a big chassid of Baal Shem Tov. He tells him, where are you going? He says, I'm traveling to Israel. And he tells him, I know you're not so happy about that, but I gotta go. He says, sure, if that's what you want to do, do it. But do me a favor, I'm coming in to the town of Messege for Shabbos. Just come with me for this Shabbos, and then you can go. Out of respect to the Baal Shem Tov, it turns around and it tells him, I will do it, but you know, I'm very short in money. It's hard for me to go back and forth. Baal Shem Tov says, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Just come back with me for Shabbos. He says, okay. And he comes back for Shabbos to Messege. And right before Shabbos, as Hasidim go to the mikveh, the Baal Shem Tov takes him with him into the mikveh. And they go to the mikveh to dip together before Shabbos. And they spend the Shabbos together. And Shabbos is over, and after Shabbos, Reb Ze'ev says, I'm not going to Israel. I'm staying here. And as we know, he stayed in Messege, and he became a great chassid of Baal Shem Tov, and he stayed with him. Later they asked him, what happened? Did you change your mind? What happened that you were so, again, going to Israel, you already left the city, and suddenly you changed your mind, decided to stay? When he said the story as follows. He said, when I went to the mikveh right before Shabbos with the Baal Shem Tov, when I go inside the water, I keep my eyes open. This is the way I do it. And when I kept my eyes open, I saw myself going into Israel. And I'm coming into Israel, coming to the Holy Land, coming into Jerusalem, and coming into the temple site itself. When I walk into the temple and I see everything, one thing I don't see is the Holy Ark. When I say, where's that Holy Ark? I came and traveled all the way here. And the answer I got, the Holy Ark is with the Baal Shem Tov. And that's when I made my decision, where am I going? I gotta stay with the Baal Shem Tov. That's what the Holy Ark is. And this is the message of that story being given by this great tzaddik. In the time of the temple, yes, the Holy Ark was in the temple. But now this Holy Ark, where is it? It's by the great tzaddikim, by the great tzaddik of the generation. And that time was the Baal Shem Tov. That's what the Holy Ark is. As we know, the story of one of the great disciples, he was called the Abterov, that when he came to Messege, he said, I smell Yerushalayim, I smell the temple, I smell it here, because that's the city of the Baal Shem Tov. And that's the idea that, as the Rebbe once explained, why did the Holy Ark always, even in the temple, and had the staves in there like it's traveling? And the idea was, let's not get into it now, that the Holy Ark is traveling with Jews. Bechol Masayem, wherever they go, it's traveling with them. And especially when we're talking about a great tzaddik like the Baal Shem Tov, that's what the Holy Ark is. And the same thing is in every generation by the great tzaddik, this is what the Holy Ark is. And this is why Hasidim always knew, if you want to get the real revelation of the Shekhinah, you want to see the real thing, where you go to the Rebbe, to the tzaddik of your generation. And that's where the Holy Ark is. When, as the Gemara tells us a story with Rabbi Eliezer, the great sage of Rabbi Eliezer, that he used to have in his Beis Midrash, he used to have a rock that he would sit on. When his colleague Rabbi Yeshua said about this rock, that on this rock, this is the place of the Holy Ark. And why, he said, because that's where Rabbi Eliezer is sitting. Let us all know that the Holy Ark, with the tablets in there, is traveling with us wherever we are. Wherever we are, the Holy Ark is with us. Wherever we are, the Torah is with us. Especially with the tzaddik of the generation, that's where the Torah, that's where the Shekhinah is. But we're all waiting for Mashiach to come very soon. And then Mashiach, when the tzaddikim will travel with us to Yerushalayim, back to the Beit HaMikdash, back to the temple, the Holy Ark should be on its place. And we should be all sitting together, enjoying the upcoming Purim with Mashiach Tzidkenu. Every Sof, a good Shabbos.